So very appropriate for me to follow Albert here and talk about how CTA promotes equity in infrastructure and contracting. So I, again, want to thank everyone for being here today, and let's get started here. So my name is Juan Pablo Prieto. I serve as a Director of Diversity Programs and the DBE Liaison Officer at the CTA. I joined the CTA in 2014 and have served in my current capacity since 2018. My team is responsible for the CTA's supplier and contract diversity programs. Our programs touch all contracting opportunities at CTA, but our biggest impact is in our infrastructure spend. Unfortunately, Misty had to attend to a family emergency today, but I did want to highlight her great work that she's doing as a Senior Manager of Outreach Programs. I'll be covering a lot of the programs that she's responsible for in today's presentation. So today we'll walk through CTA's commitment to equity, the support that we provide small businesses and career seekers, how that commitment leads to an increase in DBE awards on CTA projects, and our two current mega projects and the successes that we've seen on them. For reference, the CTA is the nation's third largest transit system, serving the city of Chicago and 35 surrounding suburbs. Post-pandemic, we are providing over 765,000 rides each weekday, and we've hit over 1 million rides in several weekdays in 2024. Our commitment to diversity, equity, and inclusion comes from the top of our organization. CTA President Dorval Carter, Chairman Lester Barclay, and the rest of the board see our goals as the floor, and we expect our contractors to maximize opportunities for disadvantaged business enterprises, or DBEs, and career seekers. We strive for the contractors and the workforce on our contracts to reflect the communities that we serve. Over the last decade, we have evolved and improved our programs by implementing different initiatives. It is because of this that we were selected as one of the first 5 movers to sign the Equity and Infrastructure Project Pledge, which brings together public agencies and private companies to help build generational wealth by improving public infrastructure contracting practices to create more opportunities for prime contracting, joint ventures, and equity contracting for historically underutilized businesses. At CTA, because we receive so much federal funding, we only operate a disadvantaged business enterprise, or DBE program. The DBE program strives to level the playing field and create opportunities for small businesses owned and controlled by socially and economically disadvantaged individuals. Through our DBE program, we also have our Small Business Enterprise, or SBE program, that we use to create prime contracting opportunities for certified small businesses. We accept the following certifications: SBE and DBE from CTA, Metra, and PACE, DBE from the City of Chicago and the Illinois Department of Transportation, and SBE from SEPTA in Philadelphia. The reason that we accept SBE from SEPTA is that through the Equity and Infrastructure Project, we executed an agreement between CTA and SEPTA to give certified SBEs reciprocity between our two agencies, since we were using the same certification standards. All contracting opportunities estimated at over $40,000 are assessed for either an SBE set-aside, as long as there's a competitive pool of certified small businesses, or a DBE goal based on the scope of the contract and availability of DBEs to perform. We also use 3 different workforce goals to help provide opportunities for historically excluded communities and individuals to work on our projects. First is our Careers Opportunity Goal, which assists participants of the WIOA program, that's the Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act, and Section 3 workers. Our Union Apprentice Goal helps existing apprentices earn their hours towards journey worker status to create opportunities for new apprentices to enter the building trades. And finally, our Economically Disadvantaged Area, or EDA goal, gives access to residents of zip codes within the CTA service area with a median household income of $45,000 a year or less. We not only assess these goals on our construction contracts, but we've recently been assessing workforce goals on our construction management engineering, and other services contracts. And as far as we can tell, we are the first in the industry to be doing this in an effort to help diversify the workforce on our projects. As I said earlier, we have several programs to help small businesses prepare for and grow from CTA contracts. These are outside of our quarterly meet and greet networking events that we host. First, Driving Small Businesses the Distance is a monthly webinar that provides small businesses the basics of doing business with CTA, like getting DBE certified, how to bid with the CTA, and how to submit invoices. The CTA Small Business Educational Series is a 9-part cohort program that brings industry experts, also known as our prime contractors and prime consultants, to teach small businesses how to do business with CTA. Classes include types of contracting models, estimating, safety plans, closing out a project, and using technology to grow your business. CTA Building Small Businesses is our financial capacity and technical assistance program that connects small businesses with capital sourcing, procurement assistance, and back office support. As you can see, we're doing everything we can to set small businesses up for success, so they're not only being awarded work with us, but they're growing from it. We want our small businesses to grow to compete as prime and subprime contractors. To support our career seekers, we have contracted with 2 pools of workforce partners. Our pre-apprenticeship providers help prepare candidates who meet one or more of our workforce goals in the building trades for apprentice programs. That pool includes Metropolitan Family Services, Chicago Women in Trades, and Revolution Workshop. And again, they prepare these candidates for when there are openings in the apprentice programs, so that the candidates can take those tests and succeed on them to get into those apprentice programs. We then have our placement providers, who funnel candidates, again, that meet one or more of our workforce goals to our prime and subcontractors when they have openings on our projects. Candidates can also be placed on non-CTA projects, as our objective is to help them start or continue their career in construction. And our placement partners are Chicago Women in Trades and Hire 360. We have seen significant impact on our DBE dollars, but more importantly, the percentage of overall DBE spend on our awarded contracts since we started implementing our robust technical assistance. As you can see, from 2015 to 2020, DBEs had not been awarded over 15% of our overall spend in any given year. Since 2021, we have seen a year-over-year increase, and in 2023, we awarded over 27% of our total awards to DBEs. That equates to over $144 million just in 2023. I will note that the increase in DBE dollars and percentage have a direct correlation to Illinois State Capital Program and the bipartisan infrastructure law. You can see that when CTA spends in infrastructure, the DBE community benefits. To meet our commitment of creating prime contracting opportunities for small businesses, we launched our SBE program in 2013. Through 2023, we awarded over 100 small business set-aside contracts valued at over $65 million to over 65 unique SBE firms. These contracts were not from one single category. We've had multiple contracts across all the categories in our spend. Now I'd like to cover our mega projects. A great example of how an infrastructure mega project can help expand and develop equity is the Red and Purple Modernization, or RPM, Phase 1 project. Up until this year, this was CTA's largest capital infrastructure investment at $2.2 billion that helped modernize the north branch of the Red Line, including a bypass at Belmont that allows the red, purple, and brown lines to flow smoothly through that intersection, 4 new accessible stations at Lawrence, Argyle, Berwyn, and Bryn Mawr, and a corridor signal improvement project from Fullerton to Howard. We set aggressive yet attainable goals on this project to maximize DBE and workforce opportunities. For the DBE goals, we set 20% on design and 20% on construction. This was one of our first design-build contracts that we have a split DBE goal, and this came from feedback we received from the DBE community and our DBE advisory committee. On the workforce side, we set goals of 10% for WIOA, 15% apprentice, and 35% EDA. All of these percentages are of the total labor hours. The RPM Design Build contract was awarded in 2018, and through July of this year, over 119 unique DBE firms have been awarded over $279 million. 54 of those firms had never done business with CTA before RPM Phase 1. With the size of RPM, we've been able to impact many communities through trade labor. Through July 31st, over 2,300 unique trade workers have logged over 1.8 million labor hours and earned over $111 million in wages. Our workforce goals have helped produce over $12 million in wages for WIOA workers, $10.3 million in wages for apprentices, and over $35 million in wages for EDA residents. Our next mega project, and now CTA's largest capital improvement project, is the Red Line Extension, or RLE. RLE will extend the Red Line 5.6 miles from the current terminal at 95th Street to the historic Altgeld Gardens. It will add 4 new stations at 103rd, 111th, Michigan near 116th, and the new terminal at 130th. Each station will have multimodal connections, including park and ride, bus, bike, and pedestrian access. And the project will also include a new train storage yard and maintenance facility at 120th Street. RLE, first and foremost, is an equity project. We are bringing rail service to a community that has never had it and has had it promised to them for over 5 decades. This $5.3 billion project will cut up to 30 minutes off of someone's commute from 130th to the Loop and bring economic development to the far south side. Aside from the strong DBE and workforce goals, the project will increase access to jobs within an hour commute of the project footprint by 46% and bring housing, retail, and other development to the area. Finally, as we know, transit is one of the best ways to fight climate change, and RLE will improve air quality and reduce greenhouse gas emissions by providing an option to take cars off the road. Sorry if this is a little hard to read. I tried to cram as much information here as I could. But this is just to show that we didn't wait until the design build contract to start creating DBE opportunities on the project. On the screen is a list of all the Red Line Extension related contracts along with their DBE goals and commitments. We anticipate awarding $3.2 billion that does not include the yard and shop, and we project over $766 million in DBE awards. The DBE goal for the design build contract is 25% on design and 22% on construction. RLE is the first design build contract in which we're assessing workforce goals on the design portion of the contract. 10% of the total design hours must be worked by residents of EDA zip codes, which include the project footprint. And although we're focused on the design build, the construction management contract for RLE also includes a 12% EDA goal. For the trade labor, we have a 10% careers opportunity goal, 15% union apprentice goal, and 35% EDA goal. Thank you so much for your time and attention today. I'll be around after the presentation to answer any questions. This QR code will get you to the staff directory and diversity programs. For any DBEs out there, we are your #1 advocate within CTA. Please reach out if you have any questions. If you don't know about the DBE program but feel that you qualify, please reach out. We can help you navigate the application process. And for any prime contractors in the room, we're also your advocate because we need you to work with us to make sure that our DBEs succeed. Have a great rest of your day at InfraDay Midwest 2024. Thank you.